Have you ever thought about asking your pastor why the churches don't get involved in the community on a daily basis? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor why our kids are getting killed and that's the only time that the churches show up to say something? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor that why don't they do something to prevent the kids from getting killed in the first place? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor that how does the Messiah name start with a J and the letter J was just invented about 400 years ago? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor that if everybody follows the Messiah like they claim to and perform like Messiah does, like they claim to, why is there so much love? Why is there so much hate in the Christian environment? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor, where does the tithe money go? And see if he breaks the 9th commandment, thou shalt not lie. Have you ever thought about asking your pastor that if God told the devil that he cursed him amongst the beasts of the field, which means he gave the devil full access to the beast, like he has full access now. So that means the beast and the grounds are cursed. The beast that belongs to the devil is cursed at this point, so we should eat it. Have you ever thought about asking your pastor that if we don't believe in what the Catholics believe, then how come we reading a book that was wrote by a Catholic? King James was Catholic. Have you ever thought about asking the pastor that since we don't believe what Catholics believe, how come we worship on the day Sunday? Is it because Constantine, another Catholic, in the year 323 AD, changed it from Saturday to Sunday? So, are we listening to God or man? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor why he don't teach the church that we are gods? And that the pastor say because we're not, and Yahweh said yes we are, that it's in the Bible, it is written. Have you ever thought about asking your pastor that if his faith is so strong in God, why does he go to the doctor and trust in them more than he trusts in God? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor how come he don't teach meditation? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor what the pineal gland has to do with the Bible? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor, is it true that we should only eat herbs, fruits, and nuts so we'll live longer? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor, how come the majority of the people that leave the church start to become more spiritual, closer to God than the people that are still in the church? Is it because they're not listening to the pastor, which is man, and now they are clearly hearing God? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor that? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor, does anything ever really matter to him? Does he really feel love for his church? Does he really feel love for his community? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor, how come 30 to 40% of the people in the church don't got no way to church unless they get a ride from another church member? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor, how come there's no buses or vans pick these people up for church? Have you ever thought about asking your pastor, did he pitch in any money to get a van or a bus or some kind of way for these people to get to church? And by the way, Pastor Porchop, I like that new Range Rover you just bought. Have you ever thought about asking your pastor any of that? It's your boy Adonai Yahweh, and I'll be at you. Make sure you subscribe and get ready for my next video, because I'm going to be dropping them. Ashe.